Commissioner? Yeah. In 10 more minutes.
All right, so I got 6 o'clock. Let's call this meeting to order of the General Operations Committee. It's December 1st. Chairman Harris is out of town, enjoying his extended holiday weekend, so I will be acting chair for this meeting. Mr. Schmidt, would you?
Sure. Invocation.
Yep, yes, sir.
Lord, we ask your presence in our meeting today. We pray for continued healing and strength for Maggie, a student here in Sumner County, and for the comfort for the friends, family, and coworkers of Mr. Hill as they grieve his passing in the last few days that has happened at Burris Elementary School. Please keep those people, watch over those people, and keep them in your prayers. Guide our words and decisions with wisdom and unity. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Okay, before we get to the approval agenda, I want to add one thing to it. Under new business, item B, the Sumner Monument America 2050 project. I sent an email about that earlier today to everybody on the committee, so you should have that. And then the mayor will give us an update or some more additional information when we get to that item. Also, to the old business Cottontown Flood Mitigation Plan implementation, we approved that last month, so it doesn't need to be on old business. We'll just move that to the report of the mayor, and the mayor can give us a status on that whenever he gives his report as well. So with that, I have motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on that? Nope. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, agenda approved. Approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion on that? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nope. All right. Passed unanimously. All right, so recognition of the public. Anybody else need to sign up or want to sign up to speak that didn't already do so? If not, we'll go ahead and call our first, Mr. Latimer, if you would please. Come on up, state your name and address, and then you will have 5 minutes, sir.
Jim Latimer, 1578 Latimer Lane, Hendersonville, Tennessee. I'm going to preface this by saying I haven't been to the bar before I came here. I just got back from the dentist, so if I start slurring my words when I'm talking to y'all, I'm not dead drunk up here. Here to talk about the Brown House. I'd like to thank everybody that's taken a part in preserving this house. I'd like to keep moving it down the road and get this preserved for the county, for the citizens, the children in the county, and in the future. There's been some scuttlebutt lately about the Latimer families trying to bogart the Brown House and take Mr. Brown's name off of it and make it the Latimer home. That's the furthest thing from our idea. That park should bear William and Martha Brown's name, based on the gift that he gave, the house, the property, and everything. It should bear his name. All we would like is just some recognition of, who built the house and the history behind it. There's just a small plaque or something somewhere. That's all we want. We don't want to have the park named the Latimer Park. Mr. Brown deserves that honor, and he should have it. And thank you, everyone, for their participation in preserving the house. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. McClure.
Mike Clark, 102 Kelvin Trail, Hendersonville. I echo everything that Mr. Jim said. We did have our ad hoc meeting the other day. I thought there were some good questions asked. Ms. Wynn asked several things to get him kind of up to speed, and I thought we had some good discussion. Hopefully, hopefully we can get this moving right along. I keep getting asked, well, what's the plan? Well, there's so many things that you could do. It kind of baffles me that we can't do them all, but we probably won't be able to. But, I would think if there's enough property there that's not covered under the mitigation of saving the snail darter or lizard or reptile, whatever it is that's down there, that maybe the ag departments could get involved and show the difference. The things we see in gardens and produce and things like that today is nothing like it was 250 years ago. When all this was going on, people were living out of their gardens. I mean, corn today stands this tall. Corn then was this tall. Tomatoes are totally different. I grew some heirlooms this year, and they're just, I mean, You might have a bug spot on them, but they're gonna taste 10 times better. But you can still get these seeds. I mean, apples today, you can go anywhere at any Publix or Kroger or wherever and buy a nice, pretty red apple. Back then, apples were about that big. It's just a totally different thing, and I would think that would be great if the ag departments could get involved in that. I also think that we can kind of pattern after the Bridal House. They've done a great job over there. The Clark Douglas House, Cindy and I went and toured over there when their docent was on duty, and they've done a great job over there. There's just so much history that we need to try to save if we can. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. All right, so that closes out public comments. So report of the chair, Mr. Harris didn't give a report, or didn't provide a report, so nothing to report. Report of the finance director.
I don't have a whole lot. I gave you guys the monthly update. The EMS station up in Westmoreland, they just started the site work on that. They're supposed to start pouring concrete and working on that in the next 2 weeks. Both the parking lot project and the Brown House RFQ were awarded as of this morning, so we're just waiting on the contracts from those entities to start working on that. That's all I have.
I have a question. Sorry. On the Westmoreland EMS, it says that it's, I'm sorry, not that one, the second one.
The Oak Grove
Fire Department. It says it's 60% complete,
It's just on money, so it's money complete 60%.
just the money.
Yeah, but they're already in the building. We're just waiting on the last electrical work to get done. Once that's verified, complete and done, we're gonna be completely done with the building.
They're moving
They
right.
just haven't billed for that last part yet.
Can we change that column header to say like budget used or? Okay, all right. And then I had a question. You mentioned on, I'll get to you just a second.
Sure.
You mentioned on the Brown House RFQ that was awarded. Can we get a copy of that? It was a question that was asked, and no one on the ad hoc committee knew what the RFQ was in it. So yeah, that would be great if we could get a copy of that. Mr. Klein?
What is going to happen now, since the RFQ was awarded?
Well, we're gonna get the contract. Once we get under contract, we'll set up an initial meeting with everybody, and then
Okay.
we'll go from there, because they're gonna have to draft their own plans and all that other mess.
Who's it awarded to?
Daniels Chandler,
Is
Out of
the
Nashville.
only
the only
viable bid?
qualified bid that was submitted.
They're a Nashville organization, right?
Yeah.
Was there an estimated cost on that?
7 and 9% of construction.
Okay.
7 to 9% of the construction cost.
Is that typical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Go, Mr. Jones.
so the RFP, when is that? I mean, what's the
That'll be-
Well,
timeline?
that is down the road. We're gonna have to have multiple meetings and multiple times going out to the property and
I
people
mean,
coming
like
out and
months, 2
assessing.
months, like
I
what?
would probably say anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
4 to 6 months.
well,
That's gonna depend on the ad hoc committee. They gotta have a plan before you put an RFP together.
So we're gonna have to develop a plan, get it approved here, get
Approved by
everything
the
moved
commission.
on. It's gonna take a
take
hot
a
minute, but
yeah.
just getting the plans in place, it's gonna take a couple months.
Yeah. So I did some just inquiry, and the architect should be developing the plan, like the project plan. So that's where the plan for this, for the ad hoc, or the Brown House will come from. So there was some confusion, at least on my part, there was confusion as to what the plan was, but yeah, so.
But he needs guidance.
Absolutely, so
From
the.
us and-
Yes, yeah, so we'll be there to provide that guidance, so, but that's one reason why I think, well, the architect costs so much is because they're not just signing off on a plan, they're
Yeah.
actually developing
Yeah, they have
the
to
plan, yeah.
Have
so-
their own stamp plans and everything.
Absolutely, okay, all right. Any other questions on the finance director or finance report? Nope, all right, thank you, sir. Okay, report of the county mayor. Mr. Mayor.
All right, Millersville EMS station, just got word from the chief today that, the state is still, finalizing their approval process. So as soon as the state signs off on the project, they can start on it. But he's still optimistic that it'll be done by Christmas. I'm gonna remain positive on that.
This is the Westmoreland?
No,
No,
the
the-
Millersville.
Millersville, okay.
Yes, the Millersville station. And then, working on making contact with the gentleman on the property for Cottontown, to where we can start the process. As soon as I make the initial contact with him, I'll get with legal to draft a sales contract and get all of that ready to go. The commission passed that last month. And, I'll talk about the monument when we get down to it, if that's okay, and that ends my report.
Okay, all right. Mr. Klein?
Mr. Mayor, last month we talked about all of the stuff that's in the back of the archive building and how much got moved out. I don't know if you remember this, but I have spoken with the sheriff, with Mark Smith, and with Catherine Strong, and they're all willing to take all those 4 drawer cabinets up to the 4th floor. The sheriff said that it was just a matter of scheduling, and he could make that happen. Are we thinking of doing that sometime soon?
With the impending weather, we're not gonna do it right now.
Right.
I'll have to get with Catherine because they're sensitive documents, so we can't use trustee labor, which means we'll have to pay for labor. Or we can do it, I can fit it into my maintenance guy's schedule when they have time. That's moving trailer load at a time.
Okay, that, she never mentioned that to me, so,
Well, they're court documents.
right.
By nature,
But
they're
they're all
sensitive.
court documents, aren't they? I mean, the sheriff's and Mark Smith's, but the inmates did move the filing cabinets that Mark Smith, because Terry Moss had a crew of 4 or 5
I'll
guys.
have to check with them,
Yeah,
because that's what I was told, so
Oh.
I'll check with them.
okay, well, she made it sound like, yeah, go ahead and move them, but she never mentioned anything. Okay, well, maybe keep us abreast of that, because I just know those ladies would love to have that stuff out of there.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions for the mayor? Nope. All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, so first order of new business, the Brown Hat Ad Hoc Committee, Chairman Mansfield is not going to make it, so Vice Chairman Klein,
Yeah,
can you
and
please give the report?
And when we got together at our last meeting, we elected the chair and the vice chair. I'm the vice chair. We discussed mostly about the fact that Don Long was going to, we need access to the building. So Don Long was going to take care of that. Hadn't happened yet, nobody'd heard from him, so you were gonna talk to him, okay.
Yep.
So have you spoken with him?
Yeah, I met with Don Wednesday, went on the property, marked the entrance. There was some, where it had been raining, kind of boggy,
Mhm.
through there, so waiting for it to dry out, and then he was gonna finish marking it, mow it, and then he was coordinating with Toby to get the gravel put down, and get that done. So the entrance has been marked, but the full pathway has not
Okay,
been laid out as of yet.
okay. Did he mention anything about a drive apron, whether he wanted Toby to cut that out now or later? Did he say anything about that?
I believe that'll probably be later.
Okay.
I think at the immediate need is to get the gravel down, so
Right.
you actually have
Yeah,
access
get the
to
culvert
it.
in and.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the temporary would be like to put something on there to just,
Like a
where you can,
pipe.
absolutely, yeah, to drive to, and then
Yeah.
that drive apron would come once we're more towards like the end of the project and
Yeah.
get that all cut out and done.
Okay,
So, yeah.
okay, great. And then we discussed the RFQ, and we didn't know exactly where that was at, and now we know about that. I don't remember that we covered anything else.
Were you gonna read this?
Well-
Because If so, I was gonna submit for record, but if you're doing your own, then,
I
then don't worry about it.
I can read it I mean, it's fairly short.
Might as well.
If, okay. All right, pursuant to Resolution 241114 and on behalf of many involved citizens as well as descendants of the Latimer and Brown families, the following report outlines the actions taken by the ad hoc committee in compliance with the county's construction and renovation policy for the proposed restoration of the historic Latimer Brown house. Need and purpose. The stated purpose of this renovation is fully aligned with the codicil to the last will and testament of Mr. William Brown, who generously donated both the property and $500,000 for the preservation and public use of the historic home. The county formally accepted this bequest and is now obligated to fulfill his wishes. The home is intended to serve as the centerpiece of the William and Martha Brown Park, established by Resolution 2404-13 on April 15th, 2024, and reaffirmed on October 21st, 2024 with Resolution 2410-15. A Friends of, quote, nonprofit group made up primarily of Latimer and Brown family members is currently in the process of forming. The ad hoc committee has recommended that this group be considered for future designation as the custodian of the building, following the successful example of the Friends of the Bridal House in Cottontown. In that case, the county entrusted day-to-day operations to a nonprofit partner, creating a structure that has proven both sustainable and effective. This model could offer similar long-term benefits for the stewardship of the Latimer Brown house. Land status, no land purchase is required. The house is situated within the William and Martha Brown Park, which lies between Liberty Creek Elementary and Liberty Creek Middle Schools. The house is set several hundred feet back from Wolfpack Way. Type of renovation. The project is a cultural and period restoration aiming to preserve features dating back to the 1790s with an interpretive approach that highlights architectural changes across 3 centuries. The renovation will reveal original construction materials and techniques while preserving the additions made over time. Square footage. The total footprint of the first level is approximately 1,500 square feet, with the second-story log cabin portion accounting for 600 square feet. A basic floor sketch was submitted for reference. Formal architectural drawings would follow. Special requirements. Access to the house requires a curb cut and culvert installation across an existing drainage ditch along Wolfpack Way. The original gravel driveway still exists and can be restored, ending in a small gravel parking area. Pre-design demolition and architectural considerations. Because this is a restoration, substantial demolition work must be anticipated in order to properly expose the structure. The opinion was that only after this initial exploratory work could an architect accurately determine the necessary structure, mechanical, or architectural interventions. For initial budgeting estimates, an architect was consulted and a high-end estimate was provided for planning purposes. Budget estimate, cost estimates were compiled with multiple sources, including local historic renovation expert Chris Coker, whose experience includes the Bridal House, Bledsoe Fort Structures, and Rosemont. These estimates informed the project scope submitted in June 2025. Architect selection in accordance with TCA 62-2-107 and 12-4-107. The RFQ process was initiated and now we know it has been let. 2 firms applied, with one submitting a complete and compliant proposal. The Finance Department has recommended awarding the projects to Daniels Chandler pending formal acceptance. If accepted, the firm will coordinate with Mr. Shamrock to begin drafting the request for proposal to initiate the construction bid phase. Conclusion, the ad hoc committee has followed every step of the process outlined in the construction and renovation policy and stands ready to move forward. This project represents not just the preservation of a historic home, but the fulfillment of a promise made to a generous benefactor and his family, and a rare opportunity to preserve one of Sumner County's oldest surviving structures for future generations. Is penned by Jeremy Mansfield, chairman of the ad hoc committee, and I submit it for the record.
Just make sure she's got a
If
copy.
she's got it,
Yeah.
okay.
Just for clarification, I hadn't even had time to read that. He called me right before I left work and asked me to print it out and take it with me to the meeting, so thank you
Okay.
for taking that.
Yep, yep. So within that ad hoc, I think there was called a recommendation. We talked about security fencing as a need to secure the house. So I'll put that to this body because I think to expend the funds, we do need to have an approval. So would entertain a motion for security fencing for the Brown house?
Do we know how much, what the cost is?
$5,000 is a good estimate. I think that was actually in the
budget.
estimated cost. Like I checked with the fence company.
Who
And,
would do the fencing? That seems a little low.
no, I checked with Volunteer Fence just as a
It's-
reference, and it was right on it.
How many feet is it?
Well, I could answer that because we addressed that.
It's like 11 or 10 bucks a
It's-
foot or something
It's
like that.
reusable
Yeah.
fencing that the contractors use.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
that's why it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's like they
Because
rent
I've already
it.
put
Yeah,
up 3
yeah.
fences, and I
Yeah,
know.
I-
Yeah.
it seems like-
If we wanted to keep the fence, it'd go up to like 15 bucks a foot or something like that. So that all means we could purchase it, but I think just like a
rent a
lease
fence.
rent
You're
would probably be
renting
the
it.
best way to
Is
go.
that what you're
Yeah.
saying, renting it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we move forward with it.
Okay.
Second.
I'd like to amend that motion,
Okay.
just to spend up to $5,000 on fencing. and
No,
just
yeah,
to
I'm good.
clarify it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Second. All right.
One question, would it be, I mean, we've had a few people kick in the doors on that building, so the fencing could and should do a good job. One of the suggestions made was trail cameras. They're pretty inexpensive, and one or two on the property may make some sense, because then we would have a recorded video of any damage that might have happened in cases.
Yes, sir.
I would just say on that, to hold off, the fencing makes sense to further secure it now that we're gonna start a project. The fencing will then further ensure that whoever's working on the site, it protects their equipment or anything they leave on
Right.
site, materials, whatever.
Right.
The trail cameras will probably be something that the contractor may be interested in to protect himself or herself from that. So maybe we just wait and see if that's needed, or if they
Yeah.
take care of that. They're gonna drive that really, about how secure they want it to be for protecting
So,
stuff
Mr.
like
Klein,
that.
let's do the fence, and then if you want to make a motion for the trail
Okay.
cams, we'll do that next.
Okay,
if that's-
yeah, we can, well, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll just keep them separate, and that way,
I just had one comment. Has anybody thought about contacting the sheriff, see if he'll put it on his rounds, maybe have some sort of
That's-
frequency of going by there?
That's what I was going to do, like the extra patrol, like the city of Gallatin does a lot for, they'll call
Shoot, no, they
Extra
never come
patrol.
down there.
well, I mean, I'm not trying to be a spokesperson for them, but I'm just, they've got the live video cameras down there, I'm just saying that's an extra patrol, they call it as they go through.
yeah.
Same way they do with, the boat ramp in
Just a
Sumner County.
suggestion.
Yeah, I'll reach out to Sheriff Craddock and see if he can just patrol a little bit more. So we have a motion on the floor, it's been seconded for the security
We
fencing.
had an amendment. Do
An
we need to
amendment
vote
up to
on that?
$5,000, he
He just changed his
accepted it, yeah,
motion.
so we're
Okay.
good.
I would like to amend it, adding the possibility of trail cameras, because I think there is risk to this house. I don't want anybody getting in there and doing further
Yeah, I
damage.
think it's a good idea.
What's your amendment
Added
then?
security is always a good.
Well, I have no idea what they cost. I didn't
They're
even-
like $50, I know.
I think you can spend as much as you
$50,
want, Commissioner Klein, so it's just,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
So just, could we just suggest maybe amending it to fencing and/or trail cams with the up to $5,000? Because if the fence comes in at $3,000, we got $2,000 to play with. We can look into trail cams. If it's right at the end of $5,000, we need to come back and look at trail cameras later. But we can just include the language in there so that if it fits under $5,000, it's already covered.
It's whatever you guys want to do. That's your amendment?
that's my
All right,
amendment.
is there a
I
second?
hate to be a fly in the ointment here, but
Somebody's got
this
one.
might need to be tabled separately, only because who's gonna watch the cameras, who's gonna pull the SIM cards, who's gonna
That's what I
be
said.
responsible for
Okay.
them, because there are
Okay,
some.
I withdraw my amendment.
Okay, all right, okay. All right. So also too, whenever I was with Mr. Long on Wednesday, we toured the house. He's gonna have the maintenance department go in and secure those doors. A lot of them were already barred from the inside.
Mhm.
The back door, I think, had been kicked in, so that's gonna get, the maintenance is gonna take
Bar
care of it.
inside.
There's a secure, something across it where you can't just knock in, so.
But the lock on the outside still works.
No,
How would
probably
you
not.
bar from the inside and still be able to get in there to unbar it?
So-
It doesn't make sense.
Cause you go in the
You
front,
go through the
back
front
is
door,
barred.
yeah.
Oh, you mean the back door's barred? I got
Absolutely,
you, I
yeah,
got you.
yeah. So, they're gonna make sure all that stuff is still secured and good to go. There's one door that had been kicked in, so that's gonna get remedied. But, all right, so motion and a second, are we ready to vote?
Could you
Mhm.
restate the motion?
Yeah, so the motion is to, security fencing up to $5,000 for the Brown House. All right? All right, any further discussion? We're ready to vote?
Mhm.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, pass unanimous. All right, so next item we'll move to will be the Sumner Monument, America 250 project, and Mr. Mayor, would just,
Yeah, this was sent out to everybody, but if you didn't get it, here's a picture, a rendering of what we're looking to do. This will be the only monument that we know of to Colonel Jethro Sumner, which is the namesake of Sumner County. This monument will go in the courthouse, right where the No Kings rally was. So, if anybody watched the No Kings rally, that gives you a reference of where it is, in that circle area.
On the opposite side of the
It's gonna be 6 to 7 feet tall, and it'll be a monument to Jethro Sumner. Costs taxpayers nothing. We're working on grant private funds for it.
Is
So,
it gonna look just like?
that's the rendering of it, yes,
Will it have the history on there, Mayor,
yes,
on the monument again?
right. Yeah, we're working on the verbiage on all of it.
Sure.
But we're planning, just so you know, we're planning a big event on July 8th, which will be the unveiling of that, as well as a reading of the U.S. Constitution on the courthouse steps, a parade, some other activities. It's gonna be a big day.
all right. So I sent an email, I'll get to you in just a second, Mr. President. I sent an email out on this earlier today. The mayor contacted me and asked to be put on. It was supposed to have been added, but it didn't make the agenda for this month. So I believe this is is it going through DAR? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, actually, the county's gonna be applying for the grant.
Okay.
The Daughters of American Revolution, we're going through the War Commission grant, but the timing would not work for that.
Gotcha, okay.
So we're pulling back to the Tennessee grants that are available for the project, and we'll be applying for that in January.
Okay.
And we ran that through legislative a couple months ago, I believe.
Okay.
And then we'll bring that back to legislative once it's passed.
Motion.
And then all that we need to make a determination on here is permission to put it on the property, yes or no?
Yes or no?
So
Yeah.
that's, okay, so your motion is to grant
Allow.
permission? Okay.
Put it on there.
Second.
All right, Mr. Jones.
I just had a question. I love the idea. I think it would be cool to be on there, but thank you for sending out the email earlier because it gave me a minute to look up Daughters of the American Revolution because I've heard their name all my life, don't really know what they're about or anything about them. And the first thing that I came across was that they allow transgenders in their group. The Daughters of the American Revolution. If their name's gonna be anywhere on this monument, I'm gonna have objections to this. They have a racist background, that they didn't allow black members until 1977. And I wanna make sure that our chapter doesn't allow transgenders in there and that they do allow black members to be in our chapter. At least at the Sumner County group is in good standing. So I would like to hear from our DAR representatives to ensure that I can vote for this. Like I said before, I think it's a great idea. I'd love to have something honoring the 250th anniversary and commemorate Jethro Sumner, I think that's awesome. But, that's my hesitations on voting for this tonight. If we could delay this or defer it till next month, where we could get a representative or somebody that can answer those questions and come talk, then that'd be great.
Okay.
I second that.
So my motion
If
would
we
be to-
delay it, we're missing an opportunity.
Mr. Chairman, if we, this is just a thought, pass it, let through this committee, should it pass, let it go to full commission, and then see what
I
happens
can
there.
make sure there's no trans people in the.
And, well, that,
Local
and see if
chapter.
DAR wants to come and speak,
I'd be
and then
more
we'll,
than happy to do
that way we stay on track for the grant.
Mr. Klein?
If
Have
we
those
could get
answers.
somebody there by the commission, that'd be okay.
Commissioner Jones, when you did the research on this, is that the national
Mm.
documentation?
Yes.
What they stand for and the whole thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a current member right now that was just brought in 2022. And there's several transgender members that,
But not necessarily in Sumner County?
no, I don't know what our
Okay.
county is. That's why I want to make sure that
I
what our
know a lot
county's
of those
position on
ladies,
this.
I'd be
Maybe
really
they're,
surprised.
maybe they're at odds with it and they really hate that and they're like, we do not want that. And if I could get their position on it, and then I may be more apt to vote for it. But yes, I don't mind doing that if we can get those answers by commission time.
So, Mr. Mayor, was their name gonna be on that monument anywhere?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it was just, it was brought to the committee by the organization.
Organizations,
as an
but they're no
idea.
longer pursuing the grant, as you stated earlier, so it's really the counties pursuing that, so I don't, DAR may not even have,
I don't even know if they have their name on that.
it doesn't sound like they even have a whole lot of.
They're just a member of the committee.
Involvement in this any longer, they brought it forward, but as far as
Right.
carrying the project. it would
If
just
we
be-
could have those answers
Yeah.
for solid by commission time, then I'm okay.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Okay. All right, so,
So,
motion.
what do you wanna know? There's black people in the organization and no trans, right?
I want to know that they allow,
Well, but you,
all ethnicities to be members of, if they can trace their roots back to the American Revolution. That's the key ingredient
Just
there.
wanna make sure I'm getting the right answers for
Yeah,
you.
and that they don't allow transgender members, and if their name's not gonna be on it, it was just an idea that they brought up, but they're not even gonna say this monument was placed by DAR, their name's nowhere associated with it, it was just an idea that they brought to you, then that's fine, that satisfies it right there. You know, that
Okay.
takes all the other questions away, because they're not even involved anymore.
So if their name's not on there, you don't need those answers.
Correct,
Okay.
correct, if they're not the ones
I just wanna make sure
responsible
we're
for it,
crystal clear.
I think that would make everybody happy if, you know,
Okay.
if it was just a county thing.
Excellent.
You good, Mr. Jones? Okay.
Yeah, as long as that comes
Okay.
forward with the motion that whoever, either if you or Commissioner Harris brings this up at the commission meeting, that those questions are answered at that time.
Okay, all right. Any other discussion?
Call the question.
All right, I think we're ready to vote. All right, so all in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
I don't, what are we voting? Call the question?
No.
No.
I was
it's missed the
joking.
call.
Yeah.
It does not need-
Yeah.
Well, nobody else in
I'm
there.
good. Yes.
Okay, so that passed
I wasn't
unanimously?
on that.
Unanimous, all right. One last item.
There's a motion to adjourn.
All right,
second.
all right.
No, call the
You guys.
question on that.
If you ever do that, I'm gonna have to.
Wow, what color?
I was thinking maybe something.
Hey, Wes.
You want it rainbow?